Hi, welcome to the market alert for Monday the 11th of June 2018. And starting off with the pound, you can see that we had a signal here and everything in place for a really good trade. The only thing is they whipped the market back before closing it back below the DP and Thursday's close, and you can see the market struggled every time it came to here. It was just this one quick flick up and back, take the stops out, and then move the market in the direction they wanted. Other than that, it was set up nice for a really good trade to the downside, but again you can see how the market came back here and then failed again at these levels, and eventually breaking below the 50 and the 20 bar average and trading lower. Yeah, just one of those where they just managed to get the market back before they wanted to go in the direction that they wanted it to. You can see here we've got the dead cat bounce. It looks like this is going to be over for now, and a resumption to the downside, especially after Trump's visit to the G7. It just gets better. I mean, I don't know whether I like him or dislike him. It's the whole world's gone mad, frankly. I think he's just adding to the madness. But yeah, so expect some dollar strength, having turned over the EU over the weekend and now on to Singapore to make peace with Rocket Man, as he calls him. So let's see what happens with the dollar. Certainly some resistance at the 20 bar average there, so downside. Next target price obviously is the trend line that we've got in place, followed by the 133 there, and then the big 76% retracement there as well. News today: manufacturing production, goods trade balance as well. They're both out at 9:30 AM. There's nothing after this. And Friday for the Dow, market was fighting a battle early on. You can see we had selling followed by buying followed by selling, and then we had the market coming off the lows here when they tested it, and then closing back above the psychological level here and the 20 bar average, the psychological level being 25,200. The market then holding above this, coming back and retesting it, so you've got your retracement, your normal retracement, back above the average and also the 25,200 before the market moves up 50 points, pulls back to the DP. You can see there the market coming back through the DP and back through here as well, but eventually it cleared and the market moved higher towards the close. And then in the daily chart you can see that we have a sideways indecision bar for Friday. The market gap lower on the overnight. We'll just drag this over. You'll see there, no doubt in response to, again, what Trump said or didn't say over in Europe at the G7 meeting. Market just reacting to that, and then you can see starting to make its way back to the upside. As I've said many times before, they want this market up. They don't want it falling apart just yet. It'll be interesting to see how the autumn fares, but for the summer I would expect this just to continue moving sideways to higher and heading back towards those all-time highs, which you can see there, 26,701. I'll just do that and drag that over and you'll see there's the all-time high. So heading up to this quite nicely at the moment for this market. Meanwhile, Bitcoin had a pounding over the weekend. You can see there the market trading up to that $7,801, then down on Saturday, closing just below the trend line that we drew in, and then straight down to the 6,688 level for yesterday. So again, Bitcoin coming back to where it started. If we just do this and this, you'll see a classic consolidation phase going on. I've said before, this is not ready to run off to the upside yet, not by a long shot, because it's got to consolidate for some time. It's got to be out of favor, and then everybody piles in when nobody notices, and then they'll move it back. Coming off a 1,000 to 20,000 just before Christmas, it's impossible to run that market back up to that level to get that same euphoria and whatever until the market has completely consolidated. And also, you've got to keep in mind, there are a lot of people who lost a huge amount of money. There are a few that made a fortune, but then the bandwagon effect of individuals remortgaging their homes in the US to actually get in on Bitcoin. And don't forget, they were buying in at 20,000. It's now down to 6-7. It's not a good idea, to say the least. So the market will continue lower. It will consolidate. You've got to watch this level here, down there at 5,855 before you see anything start to shape up. And if it breaks this one, then we'll have to go back and find another support area as well. But at the moment, the market coming back to the area where it had the dead cat bounce, as it's called. Dead cats bounce, but they don't run off. So the running stopped, the bounce stopped, and here we are heading back to probably a test of the 5,855 level there. Right, that will do it for this one. We're heading into the summer now, and also in a couple of weeks' time we'll start to see the vacation period pick up. And speaking of which, I will be missing in action for the first week of July. And again, this is something we've got to factor in as going forward as well, with the likes of Bitcoin and the markets. The stock markets are going to keep buoyant and keep moving them to the upside. There's no doubts about that if they can get away with it. Be a bit more turbulent, I think, this autumn. But other than that, let's see what pans out. Okay, that's it for this one. If there's anything to report, I will let you know. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.